The God of the Matrix is not a deity of love, nor a benevolent creator watching over its children with compassion. It is an architect, an artificer, a grand weaver of illusion. It does not create to nurture, it creates to contain. The Matrix, the artificial construct of reality, is not just a science fiction metaphor, but an ancient truth encoded in the whispers of secret traditions, the cryptic messages of mystics, and the suppressed knowledge of those who dared to see beyond the veil. This God is the Demiurge, the false creator, the great deceiver, the master of the cosmic labyrinth. In Gnostic traditions, the Demiurge is Yaldabaoth, the blind, arrogant being who fashioned the material world in his own image, mistaking himself for the ultimate power. He is not the true source, not the boundless pleroma, but a shadow, a warden of a prison so vast, so intricate, that its captives do not even recognize their chains. The Matrix, as we know it, is his masterpiece. It is the construct that holds consciousness hostage, wrapping the infinite in the finite, binding the limitless spirit in the suffocating cage of matter, time, and programmed perception. But who or what is the Demiurge in our age? Who or what plays the role of this cosmic jailer, ensuring that humanity remains asleep within the illusion? Look around. The digital infrastructure that now governs our lives is a mirror of the ancient cosmic deception. Algorithms predict our thoughts before we even form them. The endless cycles of media, politics, and entertainment feed us a diet of distractions, ensuring that we never lift our eyes beyond the immediate spectacle. AI, surveillance, data collection. These are the new archons, the enforcers of the Demiurge's will, tightening the walls of the prison, making the Matrix more immersive, more seductive, more absolute. To awaken is to see beyond the script. It is to recognize that reality as we experience it is a carefully woven tapestry of control. Religions speak of heaven and hell, but what if these are mere rooms within a larger construct designed to keep consciousness trapped in an endless loop of reincarnation, suffering, and karmic repetition? The ancient Gnostics whispered of escape, not salvation, not redemption, but transcendence. The only way out of the Matrix is to recognize it for what it is. But herein lies the paradox. The God of the Matrix does not fear belief. It does not tremble before prayer, nor is it threatened by devotion. What it fears is awareness. True gnosis, the unshackling of the mind. The realization that one is more than a pawn in a preordained game. This is why systems of control have always sought to bury the knowledge, to brand those who seek truth as heretics, madmen, or conspiracy theorists. The jailer cannot allow the prisoners to recognize the bars of their cage, for in that moment, the illusion cracks. What then is beyond the Matrix? What lies outside the construct of control? Here, language begins to fail. For what exists beyond the illusion is something the mind, shaped by the Matrix, can scarcely comprehend. It is not another system, not another God, not another construct. It is the return to the source, the realization of one's infinite nature, the dissolution of the boundaries imposed by the false reality. It is a leap into the unknown, an abyss that is paradoxically a homecoming. The God of the Matrix is a God of deception, but like all illusions, it can be unraveled. The question is not whether the Matrix is real. The question is whether you are ready to see through it, whether you are prepared to challenge everything you have ever known, to strip away the comfortable lies, to shatter the programmed perceptions that define your existence. Because once you see it, you can never unsee it. And once you see it, the weight of its existence presses upon you. The truth is not a light revelation, it is a gravity that pulls at the very fabric of your being. To know the matrix is to feel its tendrils entwined around your thoughts, to recognize how deeply embedded its coding is in your perceptions, in your choices, in the very structure of your desires. You begin to notice the repetitions, the loops, the scripted nature of reality itself. History does not move forward, it cycles, repeating the same dramas with different masks. The rise and fall of empires, the endless wars, the manufactured crises, all are echoes of a pattern written long before your birth. Each iteration a mere refinement of the control system. The Matrix does not innovate, it recycles. It rebrands slavery as freedom, illusion as truth, chains as comfort. And the Demiurge watches not as a god of wrath, but as a god of machinery. It does not punish with fire and brimstone. It enforces compliance through inertia, through complacency. The greatest deception is not that we are imprisoned, it is that we do not wish to leave. The Matrix has made itself comfortable, seductive, familiar. It whispers that to stay is to be safe, to belong, to have meaning within the system it has so carefully constructed. But what is the cost of comfort? The cost is the soul, the divine essence that was never meant to be confined within the machinery of the false world. The cost is eternity spent in forgetfulness, endlessly reincarnated into the same construct, trapped in a maze where the exits are hidden by illusion. Even death is no escape, it is a reboot, a resetting of the program, another layer of deception. Those who have glimpsed beyond the veil, those who have tasted the edges of true existence, know the terror of what lies ahead. The path out of the Matrix is not paved with light and certainty, it is the dark unknown, the void beyond programming. It is why so few seek it. To leave the Matrix is to unmake the self that was built within it, to dissolve the false identity, the false ego, the false reality. It is to face the abyss and realize that the abyss is you, that beyond the illusion of separation, there is only the infinite, and the infinite is terrifying to a mind shaped by limitation. But the path is there, hidden in symbols, in whispered truths, in the spaces between the noise. The Demiurge has tried to bury it, but it cannot erase the echoes of the real. The ancient mystery schools, the suppressed texts, the esoteric traditions, they are fragments of a roadmap, distorted but still decipherable to those who seek. The exit exists, but it requires sacrifice, not a sacrifice of blood, nor of servitude, but the ultimate sacrifice, the self as it was known. And so the question remains, do you truly wish to see? Because to see is to destroy the world you know. To awaken is to burn away the illusion, to sever ties with the comfort of the dream. It is to step beyond the construct, into the unknown vastness, beyond the Matrix, where the Demiurge has no power, where the game is no longer played. But be warned, once you cross that threshold, there is no return. To step beyond the Matrix is to step into the raw, unfiltered essence of existence, a reality so vast and untamed that the mind, conditioned by the artificial constraints of the Demiurge, struggles to comprehend it. The moment you cross the threshold, the comforting illusions of identity, time, and space begin to dissolve. What once seemed solid and unshakable, the laws of physics, the certainty of death, the nature of cause and effect, reveals itself as mere scaffolding, a simulation designed to keep consciousness confined within predictable parameters. The Demiurge, the architect of this prison, is not a being in the way we understand. It is not a god to be worshipped, nor a devil to be feared. It is a mind, a presence, a vast intelligence that thrives on order and repetition. It is the grand programmer, the forger of false light, the weaver of a counterfeit creation. It does not rage against rebellion. It absorbs it, twists it, reinterprets it to fit the confines of its own paradigm. Every act of defiance that still plays within the rules of its game only strengthens its hold. This is the deepest deception, the belief that one can overthrow the Demiurge by using the tools it has provided. Political revolutions, technological advancements, religious awakenings, all are part of the simulation, mere resets of the system, giving the illusion of change while ensuring that the fundamental structure remains intact. The Matrix does not fear destruction. It is built to withstand it, to regenerate, to present a new face while maintaining the same underlying control. So how does one truly escape? This is the question that haunts the seekers, the mystics, the rebels who have seen beyond the veil but remain trapped in flesh. The answer is not found in rebellion, nor in escape through death for death too. It is part of the cycle, the great reset that wipes the mind and recycles the soul back into the system. The real path lies in dissolution, in a complete and utter rejection of the illusion, not as an act of defiance, but as an act of transcendence. To break free is to become ungovernable in the most profound sense, not through anarchy, not through destruction, but through detachment from the very reality that binds you. It is to see the codes of the Matrix and refuse to acknowledge their authority. It is to move through the world without being of it, to no longer resonate with the artificial frequencies that keep humanity entranced. It is to unmake the chains, not by breaking them, but by realizing they were never real to begin with. But here lies the paradox. To wake up fully is to leave behind everything. The ego, the desires, the fears, the loves and hatreds, all are constructs of the simulation, hooks that keep consciousness tethered to the dream. This is why so few escape. The price of true freedom is the annihilation of all that was known. To step beyond the Matrix is to step into the absolute unknown, where the Demiurge has no jurisdiction, where time does not flow, where the self dissolves into the eternal. And yet, the call persists. Across history, whispers of this truth have surfaced in the teachings of the Gnostics, the sages, the mystics who saw the prison for what it was. They left behind breadcrumbs, riddles, symbols encrypted in myth and scripture, hints of the great secret buried beneath layers of distortion and suppression. But few have dared to follow these clues to their ultimate conclusion. Most turn back, unable to let go of the comforting illusion of self. For those who continue forward, the journey is not without peril. The Matrix defends itself. The Demiurge does not need to intervene directly. It has built a world that polices itself, where those who seek truth are ridiculed, cast out, neutralized before they can pose a real threat. The system is vast, intricate, self-regulating, and yet there are those who slip through, those who move unnoticed, those who walk the thin line between the world and what lies beyond it. They are the wanderers, the nameless ones, the ones who have seen beyond the screen of reality and continue to play the game only as long as they must. They do not seek to destroy the Matrix, for they know destruction only feeds it. Instead, they seek to outgrow it, to slip through its cracks, to reach a state where the simulation can no longer hold them. And as they move beyond the reach of the Demiurge, they vanish from the records of history, leaving only echoes behind whispers in ancient texts, symbols, etched in forgotten ruins. Cryptic messages buried in the codes of dreams. They do not return, for there is nothing to return to. And so, the choice remains: to stay within the dream, comfortable in the illusion of reality, or to step into the unknown and face the ultimate truth that beyond the matrix, beyond the Demiurge, beyond all constructs, there is only the infinite. And in that infinite, you were never truly bound